Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
He's in the building!
Drink the moment. Drink it.
I said empty your mind.
Coquettish and coy. Ow. Ow.
What?
And there's people that are dying.
The wickedly talented.
More than great. It was historic.
Crack is
World.
Oh, good for you.
I have to apologize.
One of the hottest. Hey, hotties, and welcome to The Reheat, a podcast that reexamines the hottest celebrity news and scandals of yesteryear and asks how would we react to the same events if they transpired today. I'm your co-host, Sadaf Hassan.
And I'm your other co-host, Sarah Sahagian, and this week it's time for another Hot Off the Press. That's when we do a mini-sode that discusses the salacious headlines that are currently obsessing us. What a time September has been for the world of celebrity culture. Just jam-packed. The Emmys were actually interesting for once, with The Pit taking home the coveted statue for Best Drama. Good for them. It's basically an ER reboot, but it's good quality TV, so I'm happy about that. The wonderful Rihanna also delivered her third child, Rocky Irish Mares. Congratulations to the whole family. And the Oscar-winning director, Chloe Zhao, she won the coveted People's Choice Award at the Toronto International Film Festival with Hamnet. It is a beautiful movie that is also very depressing, but, you know, it's a drama. It is about Shakespeare and his wife and the death of their child, Hamnet. So if you want to watch something cathartic in the ancient Greek sense of the word, it is a beautiful film that is very well directed. Chloe Zhao, I hope you win another Oscar. I really do. I want the best for you. I think that she deserves this after how mean everyone was to her when she directed that Marvel movie.
Oh my God, yes, seriously. I'm excited for this. I haven't seen it yet, but it also stars Paul Mescal and Jessie Buckley, and I really love Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to be a great pair. I can't wait. It seems like a very good team up of people, of talent.
I don't think he's top tier talent, and I don't know what Chloe Zhao, what was going through her mind, or if he was her first choice. I mean, I think Jessie Buckley very clearly can be a first choice. She's excellent, right? I mean, she is a world-class actress. She is very underrated and undersung in North America, but people really are familiar with her in the UK. Paul Mescal has had more success in the rest of the world besides the UK, but
yes, he does seem to have a very good box office draw.
That's something you can show the investors if you want to get this movie about the death of Shakespeare's child greenlit. And they're like, well, are we going to make our money back? And you're like, yes, because that kid from Gladiator is in it.
Listen, you know what? We could go on forever. I would love to do a whole episode just on the white boy of the month. And I think he's been the white boy of the last couple of years. And I have not watched Normal People. So I feel like I need to watch that to be able to get the whole Paul Mescal appeal. Loved the book. I just haven't gotten around to the show, but I kind of see it. Like, maybe this is the movie that will really take me there. I don't know. Like, the appeal seems to be a lot for some, like, weak looking, not totally clean British boys lately. And I enjoy some of that sometimes here and there. I hear you guys. But if he gets Chloe this movie greenlit and all the way to the top, then I'm all for it. Sometimes you just need like a really big name to get you there.
Yep, absolutely. So good for her. And I'm glad that Chloe created a wonderful opportunity for Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
So, you know, all around, I'm happy about that. Also, Sadaf and I are still so excited that Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be the next Bachelorette. Sadaf, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God.
Before we go into the rest of our topics, we need to address it.
Sarah, again, I could talk about this for an hour. Again, talk about having a talent to bring to your show. I'm so thrilled about this, and I know it's quite a controversial pick. Not everybody is very happy about it, but as somebody who is a fan of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I think that could have been no better pick. I think this is also so smart of the franchise to kind of integrate with this other series that's actually doing much better and is kind of lighting what the path forward in reality TV, and bringing them together is very clever. Like, they're going to pull in a whole new audience. Although maybe there's already an overlap in that audience. So it's just really smart in general. I am so, so excited. It's been a while since I've watched a Bachelorette all the way through. And I will be sitting there for this one ready. You and I both.
She's actually the perfect Bachelorette. I know she doesn't
is.
come from their ecosystem, but I love the fact that she is delusional enough to believe this will work. I feel like she really believes in love. I mean, anybody who's watched season 1 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, it took her a long time to give up on Dakota, but once she did, she was really intense about it. So that's the kind of drama you want on The Bachelorette, right?
That's the thing. We know she'll be chaotic, so it'll be great. And we know that she'll keep going. Like, even when the show's over, she's going to pay it off so well. Like, we are never going to not hear about this. Yeah, dividends.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. So I love the fact that they have Jen Affleck and Whitney on Dancing with the Stars. Like, Disney has figured out how to really create synergy between its different reality show properties, right? Because Disney owns all this stuff. And Disney I'm not happy with them right now at all. We don't need to get into what happened with Jimmy Kimmel and how cowardly they were. I am not fans of them and their ethics at the moment. But in terms of business strategy with their reality show properties, they are genius.
I agree. And I want to add one thing to that, because did you see the Jen Affleck's commercial for Dunkin' Donuts with Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, if you haven't seen it, we'll link it in the show notes. It's deeply iconic. It's phenomenal. I played it 3 times. I just thought it was, again, such good integrated marketing, and getting the two of them together, thrilled. And you all know I love me some Ben, so just joyous all around.
And you know what? Actually, I've decided Jen Affleck is my favorite of that
I
cast.
love her.
She's
I
adorable.
Love her. She is.
And you know what? Her story with her husband, who was really horrible in season 1, I don't know if he has reformed. But based on what they showed me on the show, I sort of believe he has. And I'm rooting for them. I hope it works out for them.
I do too. I love her. And you know what? She had pretty good acting in that commercial. So multi-talent, Sarah. Multi-talent.
Yeah, so talented. I am just a big Jenna Affleck stan. I want her to be put her on The View. Put her anywhere. Make her a real legitimate star who's with us for years and years to come.
Just put the Mormon wives everywhere and we'll be happy.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
Absolutely. That's all I need. I think that they should just all become super. I like Whitney too. I know Whitney's the villain. I couldn't really figure out why she was the villain.
Too. Yeah. I don't think they had anybody else to fill in that spot. And if you've learned anything from what we've said so far, please get on this show. You will love it. If you're a fan of The Housewives, if you're a fan of Bravo, any reality TV really, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives pays off in dividends, as we've said. You'll love it.
Exactly. Okay, so we now need to move on to our main topics of the week, although I feel like we could talk about any one of those topics for the whole episode. Our first item of discussion for HOTP this week is Panera's new commercial featuring Jared Padalecki and Matt Jucree, a.k.a. Dean and Logan from Gilmore Girls. In this commercial, they are seen fighting over which fall soup is the best, but of course there's subtext and they're really fighting over who was the better boyfriend to Rory. Not surprisingly, Jared likes a good old-fashioned American chili, while Matt prefers a richer butternut squash soup. I'm with Matt. I prefer butternut squash soup too. Sadaf, was this cringy nostalgia or good nostalgia? And how much do you think Panera had to pay these two very rich men to do this ad?
I mean, how rich is Matt Zucree really? He should be richer, because I think he's very good. And he does not get cast in enough things. And The Resident, he can do better than The Resident. I'm sorry, guys. But
he also did The Good Wife, though, which was a good show, and he made money
where's he been since then, Sarah? I miss him.
I miss him too, but honestly, I think he might have, as we call it, FU money, where it's if you do 2 network shows, do you need to work? I think you might just sort of work if you want to. I don't know. He's doing whatever he wants to do in life, and I love that for him.
I feel like there's no way the CW paid these people that well. But I do think you're right, for The Good Wife, absolutely. And then he did The Resident, so that's probably got to be good cash. And God knows Jared is swimming in cash.
Yeah.
That man is never not working. It's incredible. Okay, I love this. And part of that is because I am such a hardcore Gilmore Girls fan. There's no way, Sarah, I was going to say I don't love it. I'm deeply obsessed. We will link this in the show notes if you haven't seen it yet, or go watch it now and then come right back. I could go for the chili or I could go for the soup, just like back then. Here's what's really fascinating to me. I think we are very much in an era currently in pop culture where, God, we are all hitting the nostalgia button so hard. That's what everyone seems to be doing. And I feel like we could even make a comparison to the Mormon Wives being wherever they are right now.
Yeah.
Like, networks are paying attention to what's bringing in eyeballs, and they're doing whatever they can to just get those names to keep coming. And Jared will always be one of those people. And Panera, I also feel like was more of a hit in our era, was it not? Millennials were Panera people.
We were. I don't get it. I hate Panera. Neither Panera nor Pret were around in Canada when we were sort of in our 20s. And people, if you traveled to the US or you traveled to a place with a Pret, because that could also be in the UK where it comes from, you would go to these sandwich places. I would make a pilgrimage. And I feel like there was this rivalry in Panera, Team Pret. Panera came to Canada first. I should do an entire podcast about why I hate Panera and why I love Pret a Manger. But what's interesting is they could not get Milo Ventimiglia to do this. And I was like, does he just have more dignity? Because they all probably have roughly the same amount of money. They've all done network TV. They're all rich. And was he just like, guys, you can't afford me. Like, I have dignity.
Did wonder that too, because I feel like they definitely wanted him to, right? It feels like he's missing conspicuously.
Yes.
But speaking of fuck you money, I have to assume, and these are all guesses, by the way, guys, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I like to imagine Milo does have more cash only because he did do quite a few feature films, right? And these two never really broke into movies. He even did a Rocky, lest we forget. He did a terrible movies like The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Oh my God, the worst movie.
He was out there for a bit. And he did This Is Us.
This Is Us, yeah, which paid very, very well. Although Mandy Moore claims it did not pay enough for her to give her brother-in-law money when his house burns down.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Sarah.
Have to bring that up. I just still can't believe that. I'm still not over it.
It's ludicrous. I love it. And you're right, because they were paid a fuck ton for that show. There is no doubt about it. It was the biggest show throughout its run. Like, come on. So actually, yeah, Milo's definitely loaded. Milo definitely said, fuck you. Whereas these two were like, no, you know what? A Panera campaign? Absolutely. Count me in. And I love that for them.
Well, I do too. And it's funny because Jared spent most of his adulthood in Vancouver, where I don't even know if they have a Panera. And if they do, it's probably just one. So he likely doesn't have that much experience at Panera. So, I mean, for him, I think this was a money decision. I think he was just like, you know what? I'm a Vancouverite, not really a fan, but the money is good. And good for him. He's got kids, good for Jared. Actually, he's having quite the career renaissance, which like he was on that Supernatural forever. But now he's making The Bodyguard into a rom-com where he plays the movie star who has like the cute female bodyguard. That was a book that a lot of people really loved, and people are very, very excited for that. And it's just where they just cast him and Leighton Meester, and it's just like former CW stars in a rom-com as like middle-aged adults, which I think is brilliant casting. So Jared is really doing well.
Oh my God, I didn't know he was the one who's going to be in the lead for that. Okay, that's so thrilling.
No, they went to the old vintage CW and they took two people and they're like, you guys be in this movie. No, it's genius. Like, actually.
I love that. I think he's been so smart because he also has that show right now, Walker, I believe it's called. And I think he's even going to guest in The Boys, which, as we know, also stars his former co-star Jensen Ackles. These boys are smart. I think that's the other thing. It's a lot like Justin Timberlake deciding to pretend he was never in a boy band ever, even though that's what built him up. These two know where they came from, and they have no problem giving it some oath, right? And I think that's really smart. And nowadays, I feel like people are being really smart with the campaigns they do, like a little more tongue-in-cheek. I think that's really sweet, and I like people appealing to millennials. I will always appreciate that. Thank you, boys. I love you both.
Absolutely. Matt Jukri is one of those people. Women love him so much, and we are the engine of network TV, that if he wants a new show, he'll just get it, right? Like, women,
I hope so.
30 to 70, we will always watch Matt Jukri because he has a wide reach. He was on The Good Wife, which was very popular with older women. And he was on Gilmore Girls, popular with millennials. Like, this man is appealing. So I am happy for both of them. I like that they respected where they came from by doing this homage, right? I actually think that that's really, really sweet. One thing that is a little bit unfair is, I would say, in terms of success, the men, any guy who played a boyfriend of anyone on the show is so successful now. And that's not necessarily true for all of the amazing female cast. Like, yes, Alexis Bledel has done very dignified work and meaningful work. She's been on Mad Men. She's been on Handmaid's Tale. She's done a lot of art. But like Liza Well is so talented.
Oh, yeah.
And has never really got her time to shine. She should have been a lead on something by now.
I'm sad that Shonda never gave her a lead because I feel like Shonda really saw her. Shonda Rhimes. Why am I referring to this woman by first name basis like we're friends? I wish. But you're so right. I mean, God, isn't that the oldest thing in the book, right? Like, it's always going to be the case. People fall in love with the boyfriends always. I'm curious to see the latest example. I'm sure you have thoughts on the finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty, which again, I don't watch, and yet I know every detail about the finale. But I'm so curious how this is going to go for the three leads. Like, who's going to persevere and move forward? And I hope Lola Tung only does great. I mean, she even had a Broadway stint last year, so she should be doing great. But then at the same time, I see how much love everybody has for Chris Briney. Find him so deeply unappealing, but I can also see him doing very well because people love him so much. Because he got that instant co-lead in the Mean Girls adaptation, which is kind of insane. And that was totally based on the fan worship for this show. So it never really ends.
Male privilege, it's real. And now I think we should take a short break. Sarah Ferguson is back in the news, and for a very sad, upsetting reason. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York and former wife of Prince Andrew, is everywhere right now because, well, she wrote an unfortunate piece of correspondence to Jeffrey Epstein a while back. The Mail on Sunday has obtained emails that suggest Sarah Ferguson apologized to Jeffrey Epstein and referred to him as, quote, a dear friend in that apology note. She humbly, in her words, sent the pedophile in 2011. The letter happened after the Duchess had denounced him in an interview with the Evening Standard, where the financially unsavvy Ferguson expressed regret about having previously accepted money from Epstein. At the time, she told the Evening Standard the decision to accept funds from Epstein was, quote, a terrible error in judgment. She also commented, quote, I abhor pedophilia and any sexual abuse of children. If you don't know, even then, people knew that Jeffrey Epstein had relationships with underage women. So when she spoke to the Evening Standard, she made it crystal clear she did not like Epstein. She asserted what he did was wrong and for which he was rightly jailed. So she made it clear in no uncertain terms that she supported jailing him, which did happen. While these comments shouldn't be controversial and are based in fact, Epstein himself took issue. So why did Sarah Ferguson apologize to a pedophile? Why did this woman who has worked with countless children's charities and herself has two seemingly well-adjusted daughters, why did she apologize? Well, James Henderson, the Duchess's spokesperson at the time, has recently reported that the April 2011 apology email where Ferguson refers to Epstein as a supreme friend was sent after he threatened to, quote, destroy her in a Hannibal Lecter-style phone call. So that doesn't surprise me, actually. Now, 14 years later, these recently resurfaced communications are causing issues for the Duchess, who continues to live on the Windsor estate in a home known as Royal Lodge. She still lives with Prince Andrew, her ex-husband, which, like, he's a sketchy dude, too. Although he is the father of her children. So, I mean, that's a little bit more complicated and different. Charities with whom the Duchess has been involved for a very long time have cut ties recently, and it's unclear whether she will be welcome at Sandringham for the traditional royal festivities this Christmas. So, Sarah, what are your thoughts on this debacle? Do these consequences feel just or unjust to you? We should also mention it's not the first time Sarah Ferguson has gotten into an unsavory predicament. Not at all. Remember when she was allegedly caught trying to sell access to her ex-husband to a man who was pretending to be a sheikh? Do you remember that?
My God. Yeah. Okay. This is just so bonkers to me. So I saw this news come out and I kind of had to laugh to myself because, as you said, She's been in many an unsavory moment, and that is such a good word for her, for the royals. I want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm also not surprised. I kind of feel sorry for her, but in a very pitiful way, where I'm like, girl, get it together. Really? The fact that she even had to release a comment saying, I abhor pedophilia and any sexual abuse of children.
I know.
That should just be a given, no? I'm so embarrassed for her. I think she needs to pack it up. And I'm amazed they still let her live on the Windsor estate, P.S., Sarah.
You know, the royal family in the era of Elizabeth II, one thing that they did, in my opinion, well, was that when these divorces happened, they were always very kind to the co-parent in some respects.
Yeah,
Like they
that's
made
true.
sure that co-parenting could happen. They made sure that the custody arrangements were fair and in the interests of the children. So I think that that's probably why. I mean, yes, she is embarrassing. Like, I'm not going to lie. I mean, obviously Andrew is too, and Andrew is more embarrassing. So anybody who's saying like, but Andrew's more embarrassing, yes, absolutely. He is more embarrassing than she is, for sure. But I do think that they were kind to the former in-laws for the sake of the children. And in the case of Sarah and Andrew's kids, despite the fact that their parents are hot messes, those girls have turned out super well, right?
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any scandals. They seem to be productive, lovely adults. So I guess it worked. That decision worked. But do they have to keep her at Royal Lodge still? I mean, could she just go live with one of her kids maybe?
I know. I guess the whole thing overall is very sad. And I don't know. I guess what do you do? Well, we know what you do with axed royal members. I mean, we've seen it play out in the last couple of years. But although they may be more ejected themselves than anything else, I don't know. Anyway, I will focus on the Epstein of it all, which is that evidently what we keep learning is just that so many people were involved with this man and whatever he was offering and putting out there. And I feel like the list is only going to get longer.
I mean, Bill Gates' divorce.
Yeah.
There is that theory that it happened because his wife
Right.
found out that he had closer ties with Epstein than she thought, which good for her. If that is why, good for you, Melinda.
Seriously.
Like, I'm on your side.
Yeah, I agree. I was so happy to hear that. You don't hear about that enough. Like, anytime this shit comes out, I want to be hearing about divorces. I want breakups. I want people melting down. Instead, we're getting quotes and comments about people sticking together and very softly disavowing pedophilia.
I know. In Sarah's case, she literally has no resources. She can't go it alone, right? Like, she has nothing. In Melinda's case, she got half of everything her very rich husband had. She's living her best life. Like, she had all the options, and good for her for taking them because not all women would. Some women would just say, you know what, I want to stick with my powerful husband. Our brand is better if we're still together and I support him. A lot of women would see it that way. So I don't want to take all credit away from Melinda, but like Sarah literally is not independent in any way.
No, it's
like
true.
She can't provide for herself.
It's true. Alas, you know who was also found in more files? Elon Musk, but nobody's surprised there, are they?
No.
No.
That's the most predictable plot twist ever. I'm watching The Rookie right now. Elon Musk being tied to Jeffrey Epstein is like more predictable than the plot lines on The Rookie, which are always incredibly predictable. Yeah, not a good show. You don't need to watch it. It's fine.
And we're back. Okay, time to cleanse our palates with some wholesome and heartwarming content, although there's also a little tragedy to this too, so prepare yourself. The cast of Dawson's Creek reunited for a live read of the show's pilot in New York City recently, and it was such a beautiful testament to the power of a very iconic show that Sarah and I both watched. And also, if you haven't done yet, please do it. I think it still holds up a fair bit. It's very millennial as well. But also such a damn testament to the power of friendship. So Michelle Williams, definitely like easily the most decorated of the cast, right? Like she's done so well for herself. I was so happy and inspired to see her be the one leading the way to organize an entire benefit with the cast for F Cancer, which is a nonprofit that has chosen to support James Vanderbeek, who, if you don't know, is currently battling stage 3 colon cancer. Now, she brought pretty much everyone in the cast back, which never happens. So she got Katie Holmes, Meredith Monroe, Busy Phillips, Kerr Smith, Joshua Jackson, and Sarah's personal favorite, Meredith Beth Pale, who played Jen's grandma. And I'm so sorry, I did not even know she was still alive. So that was a really thrill to see. Now, they were all going to congregate together at the Richard Rogers Theater, and they did. However, James wasn't able to make it, which is really devastating because this whole thing was for him, right? He wasn't able to make it in the end because he had a few stomach viruses, and because he's not doing well, it was way too risky for him to actually show up. And so he had Lin-Manuel Miranda come in his place. And if that doesn't sort of click to you, the reason he had him do it is because he did Hamilton at the Richard Rogers Theater for so long. And a lot of people were saying this was a ridiculous replacement. I think it's fantastic. What's bad about that? I love it.
No, he's talented, and it's his home theater. It's a good replacement.
And it's fun to have Lin-Manuel play Dawson. Come on, that's great. James, who is now a father of, he's still Dawson in my head. And James, who's now a father of 6, realized he would miss the live read. So he did post a message on social media. This is a little bit of what he said. This is the evening I've been looking forward to most since my angel Michelle said she was putting it together way back in January. So you can imagine how gutted I was when 2 stomach viruses conspired to knock me out of commission. He wanted to praise his understudy, Lynn. He also wrote a ridiculously overqualified replacement who would have been number 1 on my watch list had I ever dreamt he'd be available. Someone my kids would definitely consider an upgrade over me. Plus, he already knows how to get to the theater, so that's convenient. So that cut to Lynn. So his family still came. He insisted that they go, even though he couldn't. So his wife was there. They have 6 kids. They got a brood.
I know.
And 2 of their daughters went on stage and they sang the theme song with the cast. Did I cry when I watched these videos?
Yeah.
Yes. And the thing that got me the most, and I know a lot of folks are talking about this, it was so tough to see the video of him that he had sent along to the theater to play during the benefit because he looked so unwell. He looked so thin. He's lost a lot of weight. And I didn't realize that was the case because he's been posting a lot of things on social, and now I realize that were probably filmed a while back.
Yeah.
So you don't quite realize just how poorly he's doing. That was really tough for me to see, Sarah. What did you make of it?
It was hard. I mean, he's in terrific spirits, I have to say.
Yeah.
This man is an inspiration, honestly, because his attitude is great and his demeanor was the same it's always been. He seems like a lovely, just affable person. Like he's always seemed like that, and that is unchanged. But yes, he did look gaunt. I mean, it is worth noting he was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. I mean, I don't know exactly what his prognosis is now or how it's going. And sometimes you can look gaunt and have cancer, and it doesn't mean you're not responding to the treatment. Sometimes that is just the response to the treatment. It's, you're going through chemo and you've lost weight, and maybe it is effective and it is working. But James has always been a very healthy looking celebrity. Like some celebrities don't look healthy. Some you're like, it looks like you live hard, right? Like some do look like they are dying. Like Pete Davidson always looks like he's dying, right? Like just
correct. That is a walking dead man. But yeah, James has always looked very good. Very good.
Just like not just handsome, but just healthy. You see that man and you were like, that man is healthy, right?
Yeah.
In how he's spoken about his cancer diagnosis, you can tell that he always did try to live a healthy lifestyle. He's like, I always tried to eat well at whatever that was at the time, like, because, these trends happened, and he kind of pokes fun at the way, like, we're constantly changing what healthy eating is, but he worked out, and I don't think he was a big user of substances. When something like that happens, it actually can be really demoralizing when you get cancer, but his attitude is amazing and he's an inspiration. Also, I just have to say, like, how lovely that these people all came together, and how lovely that Michelle Williams used her star power both to support a friend, but also to raise money for something that's really important. I just think it's restored my faith in humanity that you've got this many people to say, we love this man and we love this cause, and we're going to come poke fun at our former selves to raise money. Just like, this is the best of Hollywood. This is what Hollywood could be.
I know. I wish they televised it because I so would have loved to have seen it. Actually, honestly, if I knew it was going on sooner, I probably would have gone. Let me bring back my Justin Timberlake NSYNC analogy. Like, you never get to see people reunite like this, right?
No.
Especially not from our era of casts, and especially someone of Michelle's caliber. Like, that just makes me so happy. And then you also realize how close they all are.
Yeah.
And she and Busy are best friends. So that was really sweet. And then also we have Katie Holmes and Joshua Jackson, who are shooting a movie together right now too, where they're playing a couple, and it makes me so happy, Sarah. Even just seeing them standing on stage together holding hands did so much for me. I think I'm going to do a rewatch soon. I think the fall is the best time to do it. I started my Gilmore Girls rewatch last week, so let me start up my Dawson's rewatch.
It's funny because I actually have rewatched Dawson's Creek, And let me tell you, while I love the cast and I loved the show at the time, that was the teen show that was most foundational for me. Like, actually, just because of the time I watched it, I think it debuted when I was 11. So I think the teen shows that debut before you're technically a teen are really influential. Like the shows you watched as a tween and an early teen are really, really foundational. But having rewatched it, wow, we were watching some messed up messages.
Oh
Literally,
my God, yeah.
The whole plot, the only plot point they have is just about losing your virginity. And they stretch that out. That's all they talk about. It's in some ways like kind of boring because of that, where you're like, okay, can something else happen?
It's definitely a show of its time.
It's very of its time. And yes, that trope was destructive. Now, listen, I actually am not even going to blame Kevin Williamson, the creator, because you're dealing with what the network will let you do, right? Like, you're dealing with, they had lots of rules about what you couldn't talk about. I mean, Keir Smith was one of the first, played one of the first kind of gay characters, main characters on a teen show. And also that character was carefully created to defy stereotypes. He was a football player, but he also loved art. He had lots of dimension to him. And so I think that in and of itself deserves to be celebrated. So you could see some of Kevin Williamson's insight and brilliance as a creator. But the stuff about female virginity, like, I'm sorry, toxic stuff.
I know. Side note, ironically, I started watching Kevin Williamson's new show, The Waterfront, this week on Netflix. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but everyone's been telling me to watch it.
It's not bad. And you know what? I shouldn't be surprised because back then I would have followed Kevin Williamson wherever he went. I didn't realize this was his show. And guess where it's at? North Carolina.
The tax breaks. I've never studied what the tax breaks are for shooting in North Carolina, but they must be so good. The Summer I Turned Pretty is shot there. The Outer Banks, I mean, Netflix created a teen show that took place in North Carolina, I think just for the tax break.
I mean, One Tree Hill was shot there. I know Kevin Williamson always likes to shoot there. So that just took me back. Anyway, I recommend. It's not like a masterpiece, but it's good late night. So I'm enjoying it.
I like a soap opera. I like a soap opera. I'm going to watch it. All right. And also just like kudos to Lin-Manuel Miranda for joining this cast and doing this. He did not have to do that. It's such a lovely thing for him to do. I don't know if he watched Dawson's Creek. I mean, my instinct is he would have been slightly too old to have watched it, but he's a really good sport. What a nice man.
I know. I love him. I know he gets written off a lot because he's kind of corny, but like, who gives a shit? He does stuff like this. Like, I think he's so wonderful. And he always has the best spirit. That's why I love that he did it, because I know he would have made it really fun.
I feel like everyone who came was very pure of heart, and that's why it's so wholesome. Like, everyone just genuinely wanted to support James and to raise money for cancer. Just great things, like restored by faith in humanity. It's such a hard time right now. So to see people support friends, support a good cause, that shouldn't be so remarkable, but it is.
I know. And look at that. For once, we're ending the reheat on a wholesome note. Yes, that is this week's episode. Thank you to all of you wonderful listeners. We hope you'll come back because we plan to cover a ton more scandals. And the only way to do that is if we gossip about it together. You can listen to the reheat for free on the Seeker app. You can also find the show on the Frequency Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcast. Newsflash, we're shifting to Wednesdays. So if you want to catch us every week, we're going to be in your feeds on Wednesday mornings now instead of Mondays. If you want to hear more from me, you can find me at _Stephason. Sarah, where can our listeners find you?
So listeners can find me at Sahagian Sarah on Instagram. And if you liked this podcast, it really would actually mean a lot to us if you would rate, review, and subscribe, because that does help other people find us. So if you got to the end of this podcast, we hope that means you like it. Even if you are hate listening, you know, that's a service too. Please help other people find us. So if you would like us to keep growing, you can also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/thereheat. We are going to have some really good programming for you, and that also helps us grow and helps sustain us. So we appreciate all of your support. And of course, most importantly, thank you for listening.